Hello everybody. I've decided to get a bit more political, spurred on by the allegations that this person, the president of Harvard University, has been accused of plagiarism in her PhD thesis. Plagiarism is not a crime, but it is a severe breach of ethics, especially for an academic of their standing, if proven. And it calls into question the entire approach used in what's now misleadingly called institutions of higher learning. Perhaps AI thinking machines might do a bit better. The question is, will they be more honest than the president of Harvard? Maybe that's a low bar. My last episode dived into AI, artificial intelligence, and we looked at books about the subject. I hope you enjoyed the light-hearted avatar version of myself. A bit of fun, but it shows how quickly this field is evolving. At least one friend, short-sighted, thought it was me. I'm just not that handsome. There's another more serious side to AI, as it applies to writing and publishing. I've talked about ChatGPT in a previous episode. Generative AI is part of the issue that I'll discuss today. What's generative AI, you may ask? I had no clue until fairly recently. Here's what ChatGPT says. It generated this answer from scratch. It's a unique response to my prompt. So, novel output, such as images, text, or other forms of media. The question arises, how novel? How unique? Remember, training an AI, a machine that learns, involves gathering a large data set containing examples of the content you want the AI to generate. If you want a text-based AI like ChatGPT, the inputs are from other digitized documents, including books and academic papers. Material published digitally, mostly copyrighted. An image or art generating AI that can build my likeness will need hundreds of thousands of images, so it knows the difference between a Panama hat and a trilby. But people are now worried that the training process will result in text or images that purport to be unique, but which, in fact, are copies. The risk of text being a copy is probably less than for images, but it is possible. Remember, copyright infringement is the unauthorized use of protected creative works, a civil law violation. The copyright holder can bring a lawsuit against you. Plagiarism means misrepresenting someone else's work as if it was yours. It's a breach of ethical or professional standards, a question of integrity, but not usually a violation of any law. If the president of Harvard plagiarized her research for her PhD, and it is not yet proven, then she deserves to be fired, not least for damaging the university's reputation as much as her own. After all, it was the university who supposedly read her thesis and hired her. Let's consider how plagiarism might affect your creative work. The Harvard case shows why you need to keep it in mind. I certainly do. I advise using ChatGPT as a drafting assistant if you need help, and of course we all do. Take the generated text, rewrite it, or let it stimulate your own ideas. It's a kind of a laundry. You take the words generated by ChatGPT, relaunder them, and out comes what you're actually thinking. Then run the text through a plagiarism checker like Grammarly. There are lots of free ones. Images may be a bit more complicated. Say my text prompt, my request to the AI is, draw a portrait of a 16th century lady with dark hair. Here it is. And we get, but wait a minute, you all know this lady. Put them side by side. The similarity is obvious. Probably the derivation is too. The AI will have seen the Mona Lisa along with thousands of other portraits, photos and so on. Have I, using the AI, plagiarized? Have I plagiarized Leonardo's famous portrait? I'd say probably not. But what if the similarity was very close? Or if I did this? You get the point. We can manipulate images however we wish, but the question remains, are they original? Have we copied them? Or is there enough imagination and work in the new version to be okay? The concern among creative human artists is that once their work is uploaded somewhere, it gets plagiarized by the AI. The challenge is for the author and the publisher of a book that needs illustrating is to ensure that there's no plagiarism or copyright infringement. Let's turn to text plagiarism for a moment. The formal definition of plagiarism is this, quote, plagiarism is presenting the words, ideas or images of another as your own. It denies authors or creators of content the credit that they're due. Whether deliberate or unintentional, plagiarism violates ethical standards in scholarship. End quote. Let's deconstruct this. I've shown this piece as a quotation with the source cited. Credit is given where it's due. No plagiarism. If I had not used quotes, not cited the source, but used the exact same words, that is plagiarism. I've tried to dupe you, the reader, into thinking that these are my words, not somebody else's. It's unlikely that an apparent offence of plagiarism is unintentional. After all, the words had to be copied. That usually doesn't happen by accident. But wait a minute, things are not simple. Nothing, dear friends, in publishing ever is simple. How about I rewrite the definition? I'm not going to read it all out, it's there in the photo. But I've used almost precisely the same words, but in a different combination, my combination, to mean exactly the same as the original source. No quote, no citation, yet derived from that original source. Plagiarism? Arguable, possibly yes. I think the pattern is clear in text and images. There is a point where one reads an original source, needs to use that idea, but finds that the original source says it best. In that case, use quotes, cite the source, use the original image, tell us where it came from, and get the necessary copyright or use license. Nevertheless, you might find that the idea is good but poorly expressed. For example, many Wikipedia articles are factually accurate but verbose, lack clarity, and need to be rewritten. In that case, the best approach is to rewrite the text to suit your needs, but attach a footnote indicating the original source. Unfortunately, where a book is mainly fact-based, the footnotes become overwhelming. Leaving aside academic work, the more esoteric footnotes the better, my approach is to acknowledge and list the main sources and references on which my text depends. But the story, the plot, the word crafting is mine, precisely as an artist uses paint and styles and perspectives laid down by others. The artist Paul Gauguin was a close friend of Van Gogh. They shared a period of artistic exploration in the south of France. You can see similar styles and colours in these two paintings. Of course, the subjects are entirely different. But who copied whose style? As Sir Isaac Newton said, we all stand on others' shoulders. His work on calculus overlapped that of the German mathematician Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz. The two had a dispute over who invented calculus first, with each accusing each other of plagiarism. Where's my bottom line? Be doubly careful about how you use other people's work. You may have to, but credit it and get the necessary permissions. You really don't want to be in the unenviable position of this lady, the president of Harvard, do you? Thanks very much. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, give us a like, subscribe. See you next time.